Maybe it's taking a bath every evening because you know that your nervous system is so wired to be on that you just need a little something to just let your body relax and to let go. Do you take time to create daily reflection? Do you take time to really look at the span of what you did in the day, how you were being in that day, what got created, what worked, what didn't work? But do you do it on a level where you feel meaning and purpose for what you're creating day in and day out? I don't know about you, but I know many people get into a routine and then they kind of get bored by their routine and they start to recognize I've gone this much amount of time, months, years, where they've been doing the same thing day in and day out, almost like it's been this mundane habit that they've gotten stuck in. And here's the purpose of why I love talking about rituals. Ritual is one of my pillars in my magnetically embodied method. And here's the reason why I love ritual so much. Ritual is taking intention, that deep and meaningful purpose, and it's matched with doing something that you deeply love, something that brings you pleasure and enjoyment and brings you deep into the presence of a moment that you do habitually. You get to choose what that looks like, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, quarterly, and you do it in a sequential way. So there's a sequence of steps and ways in which you go about making it feeling sacred to you. When you show up to ritual, it is like showing up with reverence to what it is that you're creating. Now, I want to talk about one of my favorite rituals that I do daily. And it seems so simple, but it has so much meaning for me. I love matcha. And I used to be a very big coffee drinker until my stomach disagreed with it. And it's not that I can't live without caffeine, but I remember the moment that it hit in so deeply that I wanted to have matcha be a part of my ritual every morning because it reminded me of my grandma. And my grandma was my everything in life. She was my angel. She was my godsend. And there were times when I was little that I remember picking up the whisk and putting in the powder and pouring that little bit of hot water and whisking in a certain way with like W shapes and M shapes and swirls of S's just to get all of that powdered mixture of the matcha broken down into a way in which I could enjoy this delicious cup of tea. And now I've created my own ritual with it, right? It's not just matcha powder. I use rose powder. I use butterfly pea flower. Sometimes I use this powder called Euphoria if I'm feeling like I want a little more joy in my day. But each and every step is a process. I start with the butterfly pea flower. Then I go to the rose powder. Then I go to the matcha powder. And I swirl them all up just a little bit before I add in some hot water and some milk. And I take the foam out with a spatula even. Like I am so precise about it. And not because I'm anal retentive, but because it brings me so much joy to take the time to nourish myself with this treat. It's an ode to her. It's an ode to my body because I then get to enjoy holding that delicious cup of matcha in my hands with a little scoop of my honey. And I get to smell it. I get to breathe it in. I get to like take in the sensory moment of it. And that first sip every single morning is so good. And I do a lot in my morning to earn that matcha. I meditate, I ground, I go to the gym. Like I go through so much of my morning, about 3 or 4 hours of my morning before I get to enjoy that. And that to me is actually part of my daily reflection. Like, wow, I already hit the gym this morning. Wow, I already made myself breakfast. Wow, I already took some time to stretch and to meditate and to ground and to clear my energy. And now I get to enjoy this treat. And I think it's so important that when we're on this journey of healing, and remember, I just said it's a journey, right? Whether we're on this journey of healing, we're on this journey of personal development, whatever is the reason why we came into this space, we have to take those moments where we can just really simply sit and look around and become present to and enjoy what it is that we're cultivating. It can be so easy to steamroll our way through life and not take those sacred moments of pause and to also find pleasure. Here's the thing, your journey is your journey. I'm not here to tell you how to live your journey, but maybe there's not so much more healing or work that needs to be done, like as if it's something you need to do. Maybe it's just a moment about pausing and sitting and breathing in that space and allowing yourself to integrate what it is that you have broken through on, what you have been able to create, you have been able to take a moment and go, wow, look at what I've done. And so ask yourself, what are different ways that you would like to create moments of daily reflection for yourself? It could be taking the time to journal about your day and to maybe pour into your journal. What are the extra leftover feelings and emotions that you're experiencing from the day? And it could be like a gut journal, it could just be letting it all out. And then maybe after that, you write about what you're appreciative of, what you're grateful for in your life. Maybe it's just going outside and taking some time to just ground your feet into the earth and just letting all of your energy move and shake and just letting the sun beam down on you. Maybe it's taking a bath every evening because you know that your nervous system is so wired to be on that you just need a little something to just let your body relax and to let go. And then while you're taking that bath, you can admire your body. You can admire what you created in the day. You can bring forth, right, this purpose and meaning for what you've created, for what you've achieved. And even in the moments that maybe you felt like you fell short, what is the lesson that I can learn and why that happened for me? Life is never happening to you, it's happening for you. Now, I know that might feel a little like, whoa, what do you mean? Because I have a story to tell you about what happened to me yesterday. Got it. I totally understand. And ask yourself, if you're going to continue to keep living in the past, well, what does that set you up for your future? All we can control is what we're experiencing in this present moment. And so when you take these moments to be in daily reflection through a ritualistic process, you are giving yourself that time and space to let go of whatever energy doesn't serve you and to even acknowledge what did work, what you get to celebrate, what it enlivened you. And then you can easily move forward into a newer day. Because every day is another day to get closer to what it is that you really want. But you got to be in relationship to each stepping stone that you take.
I would love to know, what did you think of this video? Please comment below, what were your greatest takeaways? What is that golden nugget that sat with you that you are taking out and into the world? Because let's face it, transformation only occurs when you're willing to take action on it. So share below. That will ensure that you have really taken in this wisdom and you're going to amplify it in your life. And of course, if you loved this content, subscribe, 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 subscribe. And then you can always check your notifications so that you get all content that comes through. Because one of my greatest pleasures is to be able to see this energy being amplified and rippled into the world.